see the pair that got hauled into tyres?
Aye, all their fancy silks stained red.
Thanks for not leaving me in the Dominion. If you hadn't come back, I might still be stuck there. I told Nan we flew back on the Phoenix, but she walloped me for telling fibs. Can you tell her it was the truth, Clive?
Still alive, are you? The whole realm's in chaos. But as the old saying goes... If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. You're rubbing me blind, you know. And be thankful you got that much. I reckon I can find a buyer. And be thankful you got that much. It'd better all be here. Finished, are you?
Trouble with your gear, or fretting about us, guys? Unless that is. So, will it be? Not bad, if I do say so myself. That it? Fine.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tyres?
Welcome back, Sid. Oh, keep your mug handy.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Can you blame them, with the skies as they are?
Sid! Look what the Cursebreakers brought back from Dalmekia. Said they were all the rage in Dalamil. Looks sort of funny if you ask me.
I'll be damned.
Have you had one before?
Something smells good. What are we having?
Bombs! And they are good. You should try one.
Eh? A bloody great hole in it. Who ate the rest?
It's supposed to be hollow, silly. Haven't you ever seen Drake's Fang?
Ivan's newest dish is a masterpiece.
Oh,
of dread worm die, in ruin lie his lares. As shrinks the glim, so spirits dim, unanswered grow our prayers.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more resilient to the effects of ether than most other beasts? Some say that's one of the reasons they were tamed for use as mounts and sumpters, so that an ether flood wouldn't mean instant death for their riders or drivers. Me, I reckon they built it up over generations. Too many foolish traders driving their birds into floods, and only the toughest surviving.
Good morrow to you, my friend. With the darkening skies. But be that as it may, I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. You wish to study the tomes? always welcome, Clive.
Is a storm coming soon?
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
There's barely been a shipment in since the skies started boiling. A few more days without a visit and we'll have to start eating the blankets.
Mother, save us.
Might be hard now there's only one.
Then we're all doomed.
You expect me to work with the skies like this?
It could be raining garms and goblins for all I care. You get back to that log or I'll have your hide. I'd say we were in for a storm, but the lake seems to think otherwise.
We'll see these letters to the mainland as soon as Obolus deems it safe to sail. As for what awaits me there, we'll just have to see, won't we?
Round and round the city clock, the wyvern chased the eagle. The birdie stopped to catch his breath, down came the eagle.
Lady Karen told me that you've begun dealings with the Crimson Caravans. A word of warning. Tighten your purse strings when in Bocklad. There are few shrewder than Eloise in matters of business.
Otto said you were in the Dominion when it fell. You weren't why it fell, were you?
Our toil, our sacrifice, will all be for naught if the sun is lost to us.
What'll happen to the gardens? Too many more days of this and it won't matter how clear our water is or how rich our soil. Without the sun, everything will die.
We'll get through this, Martel. I promise.
heard the Emperor was impaled on his own son's spear.
Never. Dee on the boat. Kinslayer.
We're all gonna die! You hear me? The Akashic are coming and they won't stop until they've slaughtered every single one of us!
How do you suppose they'll manage that? You ever seen one of the blue bastards swim?
I was thinking I might pen a novel of my own, to tell the story of the hideaway. I'd change all the names, of course. Well, except for mine, that is.
We've received word that the displacement stacks have arrived safely in Canva. The rest is up to Mid.
All this fuss over a few dark clouds. You'd think the people here had never seen a storm before.
That leather loosener was only the first of the discoveries the Alembics gonna help us make. Just you wait, Sid. Just you wait!
What happened to the sky? Do you think Sid broke it?
Hush, you two. He did no such thing.
After Drake's head, I was beginning to wonder if you'd lost interest in Sid's grand scheme. But here we are. Another crystal cracked, another nation in disarray. You wear the mantle of outlaw well.
The girls here can have Otto and Gav and Gareth and Cole and all the rest. My heart beats for another. Now, if only Lady Taya would let me into the infirmary to see him.
Is there anything we can do? It doesn't feel right sitting around waiting for the world to right itself.
IB Goat has some work. That, or you could join the Curse Breakers. I can hardly lift my arms. The curse, it's...
You just need some rest. I'll stay here with you. If you'd like, that is.
The injuries suffered by both your brother and the prince were bad enough. But that wound above Joshua's heart is unlike anything I've ever seen. Were he not a dominant, I fear he would have succumbed to it long ago.
What will it be today? What is it that you wish to learn?
Study it well, Clive. Thus ends today's lesson.
There's talk of these skies driving men mad. Most of the hideaways on edge.
What do you make of them skies then?
So don't you go spreading ill rumors.
Should call back the scouts. All of them.
Are we even safe here?
Clive! I don't mean to be gloomy. They need all the help they can get. Anything catch your eye? Think you can help?
How may I help you today, Clive?
It's not true. We've lost so much already. Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
Otto, how fares the realm?
The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fact storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit.
And Gav?
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just a messenger. I leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
I see that every report that comes my way makes it into the hands of both Lady Vivian and the Lawsmen. If anyone could tell you what might be barreling down the mountain towards us, it would be that pair.
All of them.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen Mother Crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces. Now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dhalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off-storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
Clive. And how could it not? But are we any better? I cannot claim. Such are the wages. Ironic, then. Should I learn aught else, you will be the first to know.
Oh, the moon.
Battle cries of dread.
Is a storm coming soon? Will there be thunder?
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. I have a few new notes that might interest you. If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it. Did you learn everything you needed?
Is a storm coming, Sid?
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are 3. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a Akashic at her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only 2 people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
The messages from Martha, Isabel and Lubor weren't long. But what they lacked in detail, they more than made up for in urgency. Our friends need your help. The message...
I'm ready when you are, Clive.
hardly lift my arms. The curses.
The injuries suffered by both your brother and the prince were bad.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Anything catch your eye? Think you can help?
Back again? What is it that you wish to learn? Study it well, Clive. Very good.